character designer.
Yes, it works. Yeah. At that time, I was working on the previous movie called Big Bad Fox, and the producers need to kind of very first visual artwork, and so I've been asked to do this. It was just a few days job, but apparently they appreciate this. So little by little, they involved me more and more in the process, in the project, and finally one day they told me, "Why don't you do this?" So I became a director.
Well, why not? Pourquoi pas?
Why not? Yeah.
Did you look? This story began as a Japanese novel, and was then a manga. And did you reference the manga at all when you were designing and thinking about it, or did you work from the novel, or how did you approach the story?
The manga is very important for me because I think Taniguchi is a wonderful storyteller. However, I didn't feel
Obliged.
I didn't feel obliged to follow exactly his drawings because his main interest is not here. So as it is realism, I think to myself it was maybe good to push the realism level and to make the character more, let's say the Japanese are more Japanese and the Nepalese are more Nepalese. And so also because I like it. However, regarding the approach of the narrative, I even if I was sometimes going away from the manga, I always try to think about what Taniguchi would do in such a context, what he will do to solve this problem. So in this way, I think I respect him.
One problem that you had that Taniguchi didn't is you had to try and move these characters when they're supposed to be up in the Himalayas. And when you're that high up in that much snow, you move differently. Did you study movies of real mountaineers?
Yes, we had consultants. One that is so-called summiter. That means they reach the summit of the Everest. And so this guy told me about his experience, and he told me how hard it was to breathe out there, and how long it takes to make a single step. And he also told me about le bruit du vent dans le...
The sound of the wind in the mountain.
Dans la toile de tente.
Oh, also in the tent, in the fabric of the tent.
So all these small details that you cannot see in a documentary, so that make me feel closer from the experience, and that helps me to drive these scenes. Yeah.
And something you create that's unusual for an animated film is that when you're watching it, and I suspect our audience will agree, you feel vertigo, you feel uncomfortable as these characters are scaling these rock walls. You're nervous and you're a little bit off balance, and I'm curious about how you approach these scenes because they're very intense and communicate that feeling of being, perched on a rock wall, which I would never do in real life.
Well, thank you. That means we did a good job. It works. But I'm sorry, but I can hardly answer to this because I don't have any rules or any. J'ai pas de truc.
No, it doesn't have any specific thing that that he can go to, basically.
Yeah, if I had some, I could become rich and sell a kind of a method to how to do some good scenes. Unfortunately, I don't. So it's like all the scenes. I think in cinema, when you do storyboard for animation, you have to do a thing and see if it's working or not. and if not, to redo. And let me say that we redid many times everything, because it never works the way you want. So you have to precise all the time.
With your consultants, did you also talk about the equipment that the mountaineers have to carry, and where do you have this on your belt or this on your pants or this in your backpack, and what does it look
yes,
like?
it is both a job of to gather documentation on the internet. It's really convenient. Thank you, internet. And but also there is so many photos, films, or movie that once you have this, you don't know what to do with it. So we need also a consultant for this side of the job. And you see in the movie there are many periods, and the equipment it is not the same in the 60s and in the 90s. So it was very important to be precise and d'être juste.
Yeah, to be just and specific, basically.
Yeah. So our consultant helped us to be just, and also he came to the studio with all his material, all his equipment. I mean, all the ropes and the pitons and everything, and he hung himself at the balcony of the studio, just at the scene you have seen, and then he say, okay, now this is the accident. If I want to go up, I have to do this nod, and here is a nod. So we took many pictures of this, and it was really useful, and we could not have do such scenes without it. And I think I will never do it again, because it is a tough job to do.
I'll bet your neighbors were surprised to see someone climbing up your balcony.
No, the balcony was inside, so...
Can you talk a little bit about the backgrounds in this film? Because I think they're very striking and very beautiful, and once again, you feel like you're in the mountains. And you know, did you have a large group doing these paintings, and how did you work with them?
Yes, it's a large group, because even for animation we need a lot of people to do this, because you spend a lot of time on each drawing, on each background. Regarding the background in itself, it is basically it's a painting, you know, and we try to have an approach that is the most cinematographic as possible. Our influences were not animation film, but more live action movie or photography. And we try by the painting to get closer from this impression of reality. And it's always an impression. And also, it was important to put a lot of details in this in order to feel the scale, especially for the mountain, which is very huge. So you have to put a lot of details, but you must not lose. Comment se perdre dans les détails?
Yeah, lose yourself in the details.
Yeah. Because I wanted to be not descriptive, but also give impressions with this.
Another impression that they give you, though, is of cold. This is, you know, I don't think anyone set fire to the seats in front of them to keep warm, but you get
We just put the AC. That's why it's cold.
But those backgrounds do give you a sense of the iciness and how unforgiving that cold is, I think, at those heights.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Oh,
well, thank you. Again, that means it works. But this feeling comes with many tools. I can say the picture is a tool, the background, the image, the drawing, but also the sound design and the music. because it's all tools to make the emotion calm. So especially in the mountain scenes, when there are no dialogues anymore because the characters are doing efforts, so they cannot talk. So this is the time where the mountain can talk, and we pay a lot of attention to this, to his talk. I mean, all the sound design of the wind, the snow, the steps in the snow, the glaciers cracking, and it's all part of the feelings you have at the end.
Well, and the mountain almost becomes a character.
Definitely, yeah.